Monday. So, this week's devotion is all about seasons. So, as I woke up this morning and it was 42 degrees, I was like, okay, this is my kind of weather because this is the time that I can grab my cup of tea and just, But it got me thinking about seasons and how we go through different seasons. In the natural world, we go through different seasons. And in actuality, we also go through different seasons in the spiritual world. So even though this season right now is kind of right in between the fall, getting ready and transition into the winter, you may be experiencing the spring season in your spiritual journey. So, what is that all about? What are the seasons? So, when we think about it, and let's just think about winter, since winter is coming up soon, or for some, winter may be happening right now, but think about winter season. Winter season is all about death and rebirth. It is the time and the moment of when you're trying to release. It's a very introspective time. So think about it like this. Typically in the wintertime in the natural world, people like to hibernate because a lot of people don't like winter. You're thinking about snow and all this other stuff. Some people love it, some people don't. But in the wintertime, it is hibernation. So you're hibernating. It's the same sense when you're thinking about it in a spiritual aspect or the spiritual journey is during the wintertime is the time where you really go into introspection, where you really go within and see, okay, what are the things that I need to let go of? What's holding me back? What is not aligning me to God's word, or what is not aligning me to God's purpose and path for my life? And so it allows you to really go within. And the reason why it's the perfect time to allow you to go within from an introspection standpoint is because the next season, spring, is the season of rebirth. This is the season of where all the introspection that you have done during the winter season, you are now rebirthing, renewal. This is the time where you have released everything and you're starting to become anew. So to your new way of being. I often think of it like, think about the flowers. Typically, they die off during the winter time because of the season of cold and, just thinking of death, and they die off. But in the springtime, it's like these new buds and new blossoming that happens. And that's what happens in our life is we release, we let go, we die off what is not serving us. And then in the spring, we blossom into the path and the purpose that God has set for us. And so as we start to rebirth that, then in the gotta love that, right? Then in the summertime, you think of summer, sun, that is a time where you shine. That is a time of where that renewal, that rebirth, that becoming anew that has happened in the spring. The summertime is when you step into that calling, you step into that purpose, you allow your light to shine so bright that others can see it. And that's why you think of the sun shining so bright. So that's the summertime. And then as we transition in the fall people think of the fall is kind of that season of the season of death too as well. But the fall, what it really is, the season of maturity. So it's the season of where we realize that not all death is bad. So not all things that are dying in your life is bad. It reminds us of this kind of this rebirthing process and realizing that in order to become anew, in order to have rebirth, we must allow death to happen. We must allow the dying of the things that are no longer serving us to go away. So it's that kind of maturity that is allowing us to set ourselves up to know that, yes, winter is coming, death is coming, but that's not all bad. Like some deaths are great because it allows us to rebirth. It allows us to step into our calling, into our path, into our purpose that God has set forth for us. So think about this as I talked about each season. What season are you going through? And Are you just going through the seasons, or are you growing through the seasons? That is the thing that you have to think about is, am I growing through these seasons, or am I just going through the seasons? And then realize that there will be storms. There will be rainstorms, thunderstorms that happen in those seasons. Are you just going through it, or are you growing through it? Are you grabbing the tools and all the things that you need so you can surpass and be able to succumb the storms that are coming and going through your season? So, what season are you growing through right now?